right, changing it up. I'm in Denver right now. So we're at the thrift store. It's called The Ark. It's supposed to be like the best in the area. I've got a good haul. Hello you guys, happy spring. It's currently very gloomy here in Florida actually, so I have like a lot of ring lights on, but I have a beautiful thrift haul right in front of me here that I'm so excited to share with you guys. And I also want to share, I just have a passion for decorating my home, as you guys know, with thrifted finds, but I also have a passion for sharing that with you guys and teaching you guys how to achieve a really elegant, beautiful, curated look without spending a lot of money. So I want to go through 10 things that I think are a good thing to look for when you are out thrifting this spring and summer to get that look. So I'm going to tell you those 10 categories for you to look out for, and I'll give you examples from my own home as we go through them. Then I'm going to take you to the thrift store, and then I'll take you back and we'll end with the grand finale of this beautiful thrift haul. All right, I've got my list of 10 things to look out for. So we're gonna dive into this, but before we do, real quick, I wanna just thank you guys. Last week's video was a little bit rough, a little bit raw, just honest and vulnerable, and you guys were so kind to me, so sweet. Like, you guys just showed up in the comments, just, this was like the best thing that like, I relate. Like, that is what I wanted, I hope, to like get through that video, because this feels like sometimes when I'm doing all of these thrift hauls and decorating and like making things all beautiful, I think that as a mother, like I would not want to watch that all the time because it's just like not relatable, because you know, it doesn't always go like that. So I think mixing those videos in every once in a while is good for me, and hopefully it's good for you as well. So that was the point of that. So thank you all so much. All right, so let's dive into the first category. Probably what everyone thinks of when they think of spring and summer, and that is florals. But there's a few tricks, things that I think you should look for when you're choosing florals from the thrift store, so that you don't just end up with like this dusty, sun bleached English ivy kind of thing. So what I've been looking for is larger, like go larger. I have these 3 gorgeous stems that I actually found on Facebook Marketplace kind of accidentally, but I found them there, and they're made of plastic and they're really beautiful. They're this like recycled plastic. I think they're supposed to be like cosmos, but I love the color and the pop that they bring. They're just a little bit different. So maybe look for something like that. The wreath on my front door is also from the thrift store. It was pretty much brand new. So you can absolutely find good florals at the thrift store. I have found Goodwill to be the best place for that, even though Goodwill is not my favorite, but that's another story. Just because there's so much volume and like turnover at Goodwill, and florals are something that you do need that turnover, because a lot of people are gravitating towards like the exact same thing, if that makes sense. Like, it's not as divided. All right, so on to category number 2, and that is glass items with good texture. I love a good chunky glass. I found a really good one, and I'll share you guys in the haul at the end of today's video, but I think that is awesome. Anytime you can find one that's like $1 or less, snatch it, grab it, because it is awesome to bring these and just have a collection of them. And then whenever you want to bring flowers to a friend, if you're going like to dinner or to like, you want to bring them flowers for some reason, you have a vase on hand. You don't have to like run to the dollar store or something, and they will be so much more beautiful. So I did grab one of those as well at the thrift store, and I'll show you that one as well. Okay, the next item for me is something I've been obsessed with lately, and that is handmade pottery. I think that there's this whole obsession right now with pottery, and it's like everyone wants to make all these items look like pottery by like mixing them with, you know, baking soda and paint or whatever, and like painting on, and I've done that as well. Pretty sure there's some in here right now, but I would much prefer to have true authentic handmade pottery. And maybe it doesn't look like the exact like on trend shape or color or something, but it's always going to be more timeless and more beautiful because it's actually real. So always look out for handmade pottery. I'll put on the screen some of the items that I found that are just gorgeous. They're just different. They're gorgeous. They're one of a kind. All right, on to number 4. This one, very springy, summery, is pots. Pots for your real plants. These can be handmade pottery that you could use as a pot. I'll show some examples of those that I have used. You can also find terracotta pots that have a little bit more like patina to them, when they look a little bit more like old and beautiful like that. I think that those are my preference as opposed to like the really bright orange, like fresh brand new ones. So you can find those at the thrift store sometimes, but do be mindful too. I feel like they're usually not the greatest prices at the thrift store. At least at mine, they like still mark them up super high and you can get them the same price at Home Depot. Just throwing that out there. And then also, don't forget when you're buying a pot that you also need a saucer. But you do not have to use a terracotta saucer, one that like matches the pot itself. You can choose a decorative plate. So I recently did this with the little blue and white plate that I found. It fit perfectly one of my little pots in it. So I just put that on top, and I think it added some beautiful color, brightness, and just like look classy, I think. Up is number 5. This one's like kind of obvious. Baskets, woven items. These are great things, textures to add in for spring. I especially love baskets with like a hook thing to hang on a wall, like a pegboard, or I have like an accordion hanger thing. I really enjoy hanging baskets onto there and putting flowers in them, functional items. I have one in my laundry room that holds clothespins. And then also looking for woven items that can be like a charger underneath a vase. I think that that looks really beautiful. Over the summer, we get these flowers that follow their plumeria flowers, and you can't just like put them in a vase, you actually float them in water. I know a lot of people do this with magnolias as well. I think it looks gorgeous to have under there a charger, and I actually saw these at the thrift store that I'll show you some clips of, so I'll point them out. But a charger underneath the underneath the bowl of water looks really gorgeous. So keep your eye out for those. They can also be hung on the wall too to add some like really pretty texture. I know that kind of has like a boho look, but I have a spot in my house that I actually have that too, because I just have like an eclectic style as well. Okay, number 6. I believe we're on number 6. This is fruit motifs. So what I mean by this is like art or textiles that has pictures of fruit. Now, I would say that like carrots and cabbage are more spring, and then like the citrus is more summer. We're already feeling like summer over here. It's like monsoon season already here. We got stuck in the monsoon yesterday at Costco and like wringing out our hair, like that kind of monsoon. So if you can find a painting of a lemon, but I also challenge you to look for things that can be used with fruit that are just like more beautiful. For example, a lemon squeezer that's more beautiful, something you can upgrade, something that you like touch and you hold. Those are important aspects to making our home beautiful as well. Also, like a berry basket. I got a really pretty white ceramic berry basket a few years ago, and it just elevates it. Like, yeah, why not have my strawberries in a little, I actually use it for tomatoes most often on the counter, but having that little basket, I just really love. All right, number 7 is stripes. I think nothing looks more like French country and like cottagey as well as stripes. I just added a bunch of stripes to my bedroom. This is my bed skirt here. But I also added this same fabric all around. I added it to picture frames, to that lamp back there, and a pillow on my bed. You guys saw me like custom do that in this bedroom makeover recently. But thinking of ways that you can add stripes, even if you're not like going to be all DIY or anything, but getting some striped pillow covers, looking for those thrifted. You can always take them off of the inserts, wash them, put them on your own covers or whatever. Looking for some fabric that you could turn into something else, like covering a lampshade like I did, or making a pillow that was a lot more simple than you think. I've got 2 more. The last one is a little bit controversial. I'm a little divided on this one. Number 9, I really do like, and that is mixed colored candlesticks. So I started mixing the candlestick colors that I have up around like in fall time about, and I really liked it. So I've kind of kept doing that each season. And so right now I have a bunch of like tones of green, and I think that looks really beautiful. I happened upon a box at a estate sale of a bunch of green, muted green candlesticks, like taper candles. And so I've been using those, and I don't really like them a ton because I have like a lot of little kids, but I think that they look really beautiful and they add lots of like levels and height and everything. So I think some beautiful ones would be some pale yellows or pinks, greens or blues, and you could mix that all together. That would look really beautiful on a tablescape. I'll try to find a picture, like an inspiration picture of that, because that would be so cute. All right, the last one is very classic. Classic spring decor is bunnies and eggs, right? Like that's kind of what we think of, at least that's like what's all over Dollar Tree decorations, but I think that it can look elevated. If we take these materials and instead of making them just like paper or plastic and anything, but really looking at like high-end materials, you can find these at thrift stores often. Marble eggs, for example, wooden eggs. I have an iron bunny, like it's like this heavy iron bunny that a neighbor gave us, and I have been meaning to spray paint it because it's like white and kind of rusty right now, but I want to spray paint it black to make it just look like iron, like black raw iron. A little bit undecided on if I will bring it in or just like leave it on the porch. I think I'll probably just leave it on the porch. But look for bunnies as well that are made out of stone or made out of marble, wood, anything that looks a little bit more elevated, a little more timeless. So let's go ahead and head to the thrift store. All right, changing it up. I'm in Denver right now. So we're at the thrift store. It's called The Ark. It's supposed to be like the best in the area. This one just opened. I'm with some friends. They drove separately, and we're just killing some time because Dominic's with the wedding party, and so I'm gonna go thrifting with my friends, and we'll see if we can find something if it can fit in my suitcase. All right, so we're starting off in Denver, like I said, and I want to show you some of the things that I saw potential in while I was at the thrift store. I like taking you all through the thrift store with me so that you guys can get some ideas, and it's always helpful to, I mean, things aren't styled in the thrift store, but when we get ideas from others, it can help us think of new ways that we could use those. So teapots, like you just saw, could be used as a flower pot. Like you could use these as a vase, just slip a mason jar down into the bottom of it or a smaller jar if you needed, and then you could use it for flowers. I thought that this cow print was pretty cute, but the price was not cute. It was $8 and it was not even like an oil painting or anything, and the frame was pretty gold. It would need to be toned down, I think. I did look at the place settings because I thought that would be something I could easily pack in my suitcase. I didn't find any this time though, but we are heading now back to Florida. So we're back in Florida now, and I found this organizer thing. It was actually made of plastic. Would you believe that? But it looked like wood, and I really liked the carved detail. You guys know I love like carved details. I'll be sharing a home tour next week, actually. I just filmed that one, or actually later this week, and you'll see lots of carved wood that I have in my home. I was looking at these because I would like to put some hooks into my boys' room, and I thought these kind of had potential, like if I was to flip them, but I ended up leaving them behind. I would rather just have like one hook situation, like a peg rail sort of thing, or like one of those accordion hook things. I was looking at these rattan chargers, like I mentioned earlier in this video, because they could be used as layering things as well, or hung on the wall. And I did find some really good pottery, so stay tuned to see which ones I took home. I usually like spending around like $2 to $3 on pottery pieces. I really liked this chunky glass as well, but it was $6. It was over $6, and I thought that was just a little ridiculous for a glass vase, even though it was like really nice and chunky, and I liked that about it. They had a lot of selection for vases, and I did grab this one actually, and I forgot to show it in the haul. Well, actually, I had already given it away to a friend, but I love finding ones that are really unique. I think this might have actually been a shade, like on a lamp or something, because it had texture on the bottom of it as well. So let me know if you guys know, but I did fill this. I'll show you how I filled it with flowers from the grocery store, and it turned out looking really beautiful. We brought this over when we went over there for dinner. I think finding serving items and things that are not your everyday items that you would eat off of are really fun, just to mix things in. I love a good eclectic look, and so I did bring home a few of those serving items that I showed you there as well. I loved these bowls too. These were big ceramic mixing bowls. There was a set of 2. They kind of had little speckles that were reminding me of funfetti cake or something, but they're made in Italy, and they looked really just nice and simple. They could go with so many different styles. I have grabbed these for my kids to use for like sensory play and those sorts of things, but I ended up leaving these behind. They were a little bit expensive. I really love tic-tac-toe on a coffee table. I think it looks so cute. So I have a wooden tic-tac-toe. It's all wood. This one has some glass to it, but I've been using mine since I got it like a year ago at a garage sale. I ended up finding another one of those wicker basket like vase things, and so you'll have to see if I ended up bringing that home and how I styled it. But I thought it was so funny that I found 2 of them. I loved that standing lamp there, and I probably should have gotten it. I had both kids with me, the little ones, and I just was like, how in the world am I going to carry this to the front? So I ended up leaving it, but it really matched the style of my home being like that iron with the Spanish Mediterranean look. I did find this lamp that was like woven. It was pretty cute, but I ended up leaving that one behind since I didn't have a place in mind for it. This one was such a cool basket. I think this would be great for a plant if it didn't have the handle. You could possibly take off the handle, but I ended up leaving it since it was, I think it was at like 15 bucks. I love like the fit of this one. It's loft, the Antiler loft. It fits me perfectly, but it is just like too bright of a color, I think. So I'm gonna pass on this one.
They glued it here.
You think they glued the mirror to the wall?
Yeah.
Probably. This one just feels like it's like hanging. I think it's just too big. Like, yeah, it's just not flattering. I wanted it to work. It's just very classic, but nope. Okay, all right, we are back. I've got a good haul, home decor here, and 2 clothing items. Y'all, I was looking for a dress for a wedding that we have this coming weekend. So I had like 2 weeks before I needed to like order something, and I found a dress. Things were going well for me this week, and this is a good haul as well. So I'm gonna start with this item because I wanna see did anyone know what this was? Let me know in the comments below if you know what this is before I tell you what it is. So I got this for $3, and what this is a garlic or ginger grater. So it's made of ceramic, pottery, whatever, and you just grate it on there. It's pretty like rough and everything, so I haven't tried it yet, but I love grating ginger. Usually I just buy the garlic like already minced because I use that like all the time, but ginger, I like having something to grate it. So I thought I would give this a try. A friend has one of these and she like swears by it, so I would give it a try. This is the one thing that I got in Denver that I'll show you in this haul. The other items, I got a ton of like really cute like athletic polos from my kindergartner, but I'm not gonna show you those. they're just polos, but those are like the best thing I think for little boys because they're comfortable and they look really handsome in them. So this is the ceramic little vessel that I got. This one was 50% off of 99 cents. So 50 cents for this little handmade vase. Isn't it so sweet? I thought filled with flowers this summer. Perfect. I mean, I guess you could use it as a mug, but the bottom is like kind of raised like that. So I'm pretty sure that that would be better as like a vase. And I could put dirt in that and turn it into a little like pot as well. But I think a little vase full of flowers. Guys, my flower garden is coming along. I'm going to do a garden tour as soon as things are looking like full and lush. We're not quite there yet, but you guys saw us plant everything, and so like we saw where we started and everything. So I'm like complete novice beginner with everything, gardening, with like the vegetable garden stuff. Herbs I'm like pretty good at, where actually the herbs are exploding, but the cut flower garden is what I'm like most excited about. And we've got like little plants, like they're all like this big now from seed. All right, the next thing that I got was this. So funny enough, I saw this in Denver at that thrift store, and then I was thinking about it after I left. I was like, I probably should have gotten that because I could have used it for something. And then I found another one when I was here back in Florida, and so I thought, all right, I'm just gonna get it. But it would have been nice to have 2 of them because I was thinking you could actually use this as like a globe, like a light, right? So I don't know, possibly like a little hanging light with like a remote control light bulb. I'm not sure if it would actually fit in there or if I would even want to do that DIY, but isn't it cute? This is such a cute little thing. So what I have been doing is I put a mason jar in there, and so that has like water in there. And then I just had cut this from my yard. But once I have cut flowers, I would love to put cut flowers in there. I think it would probably hold like 3 because the little vase thing is so small. But this one was $2. So that was my woven items, my ceramics. See, I'm like perfectly on theme here. Next is my fruit motif. So this, I've been wanting one of these lemon squeezers like this. I have a lemon squeezer that's like a clamp one, but I didn't have one of the juicers. I guess this is called a juicer, where it gets like the pulp and everything for fresh lemonade. So I was super excited to find this one. It was $4, so, you know, Goodwill just doesn't have great prices. That's just the fact about it, but I still go there because it has a lot of volume. Let me know, do you guys still go to Goodwill? I know that there's so much like controversy over it. All right, next I found more ceramic, handmade ceramic. Now this one's a little bit wonky. I feel like this was probably like a mistake that somebody made when they were making, because it probably shouldn't be shaped like that, like open, but I still think it's cool. I like the glaze of it a lot, and I like that you can actually hold a lot in here. I was able to put 4 lemons in there, and so just because of the shape being like that, this one was $2 at Goodwill. You could also put a plant in there. It could be a really cool plant. I'm gonna save my favorite bowl for last. It's another pottery one, but the color is just gorgeous. The next thing I got was another fruit thing. Look how cute these are. Oh, there's a hair. That's gross. Sorry. It's mine at least. Look how cute. They are little cabbages. I love these little knives, guys. I think it's partially because they're cute, but also because my mom had them, and so they're kind of like nostalgic for me. I think she still has them, but I haven't been to Easter at my parents' house in so long that I haven't seen all of their stuff for a while. So it just lives in my memory. I see these often at the thrift store, even like at the Goodwill bins, but they're never like a set. And so the fact that I found a set for $3, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. All right, I was definitely on like a hospitality thing, but I also got these little muffin cup things. I believe they cost, $3. But each of them originally was $2. So I think these are from Home Goods. I've seen them there, I believe, but I thought that these would be really cute to even put like little egg cups in. We have a little monthly brunch where we just like get together with a bunch of other families. We do a rosary together, and it's really nice, but I've been bringing quiche. And so I was thinking I could make little like mini quiche in here possibly, or muffins. It would just be really cute and like springy as well. All right, I'll show you the 2 clothing pieces that I got, and then I'll show you my favorite bowl at the end. Okay, so this little shirt, nothing too special, but I thought it was a pretty color, as well as I just wear things like this constantly, like with skirts or with shorts during the summer, just like it's so hot. And so I know that I'll get good use out of this. I already washed it, so I don't remember. I think it was like $4 because, you know, it's Goodwill. All right, this is the dress that I got for the wedding. I'm going to try it on for you guys, but I was looking at dresses pretty much like this from Lulu's. This is like a dress brand that has good dresses for weddings. And I was looking at this tiered dress. It was pretty much this, because that's like the trend right now, is tiered things. And I was looking at it in blue, pretty much like this color, but it had like kind of a floral, like I think it was called burnout design. And I was looking at that online. It was like $90, something like that. And then I go to the thrift store and find this one. And I was like, this one was $8, new with tags. I was like, I just can't pass this up. So I ended up getting this one, and yes, it's black for a wedding. I know some people might think that's not fine, but I've heard that that's fine now. It's like a modern thing, but also it has lots of florals on it, and it's a nighttime wedding, so I think it'll be just fine, and saved $80. All right, so I'll show you my final piece next. But if you guys enjoyed this video, seeing like the inspiration and then going thrifting and then the haul, let me know in the comments below. I could definitely do more videos like this, maybe for different like rooms in the house or something like that. So let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you would have grabbed any of these items, what you would have grabbed at the thrift store. Am I crazy for going thrifting in Denver when I'm there for like 3 days? But I don't know, my friends wanted to go, so I'm not gonna deny them. I have a fun DIY video that I have in the works that will be some like thrift flips. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you hit that subscribe and the bell so you don't miss when I post a new video. This is my last item. Enough rambling. This one, I think it's so pretty. So this was $4 from Goodwill. It's like handmade, right? But the the beautiful, it's so pretty. I just really love this like spiral design in here. I've been filling this with lemons. I think blue, this blue color with lemons is gorgeous. I want to add more color to my kitchen soon. It's like all pretty much black and white right now. And so this blue was like inspiring me. So this blue might be coming back in the future video coming up. I might be adding this blue more to my kitchen. All right, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a very blessed week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.